The creator of the universe decides to build an entire, sprawling nation from scratch. To begin this bloodline, he bypasses kings and empires, choosing instead a 99-year-old nomad who doesn't have a single child. Abram is anxious. Time is running out. His wife is barren, and human biology suggests that his only legal heir will be his Syrian house servant, Eliezer. To Abram, the promise feels impossible. God responds with an ancient Near Eastern ritual. Abram is instructed to take a heifer, a goat, and a ram, cut them completely in half, and lay the carcasses across from each other in the dirt to form a blood path. As the sun sets, a terrifying sleep falls over Abram. Plunged into absolute darkness, he watches as a smoking furnace and a flaming torch physically pass between the rows of severed meat. This blood on the dirt codifies a terrifying cosmic pact. By walking the path of carcasses, the divine binds itself to the physical limitations of a human timeline. But human patience is fragile. After a decade of waiting with no progress, Sarai decides to force the prophecy by giving her Egyptian servant Hagar to Abram as a surrogate. This pragmatic solution immediately backfires. Hagar conceives, but it fractures the household. Jealousy erupts, Sarai abuses her surrogate, and a desperate Hagar flees into the brutal, heat-shimmering wilderness. Beside a desert spring, she is intercepted by the angel of the Lord. The divine escalates from ethereal dreams into a physical, waking intervention. The entity delivers a heavy prophecy over the child. Her son, Ishmael, will be a wild donkey of a man, his hand raised against everyone, living in perpetual conflict with his own brothers. Abram and Sarai tried to manually manage a divine plan, and they achieved only generational chaos. Engaging with this covenant demands absolute surrender to a timeline they cannot control. Decades pass, and the divine presence fully breaches the material world. In the punishing heat of the midday sun at the oaks of Mamre, Abraham looks up to find 3 men standing outside his tent. Abraham reacts with panicked hospitality. He runs to the tent to have Sarah knead fresh flour, sprints to the herd to slaughter a prime calf, and personally serves them meat and curds under the shade of a tree. As they eat, the visitors drop a declaration that defies human biology. Sarah, now 90 years old, will give birth to a son by this time next year. Listening from behind the tent door, Sarah laughs to herself. The friction between her failing body and the force of divine will is so stark that she finds it comical. The boundary between heaven and earth has collapsed. The creator of the universe is now a physical guest, sitting in the dust and eating roast meat under a tree. The meal concludes, and the visitors stand up. They turn their gaze away from the tents and look down toward the valley, toward the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. God invites Abraham into his council, revealing the coming apocalypse because of their covenant. Abraham challenges the judge of all the earth directly, questioning the justice of sweeping away the innocent. He starts at 50 righteous people and bargains God down, 45, 30, 20. They reach the final terms of the negotiation. If just 10 righteous individuals are found, the city survives. With the bargain struck, the angels descend into the night. A nomadic herdsman has been elevated into a diplomatic proxy. Through the covenant, Abraham holds the power to negotiate the terms of mass destruction. The 2 angels reach the gates of Sodom by evening. Lot insists they take shelter in his home, desperately trying to protect them from the predatory hostility of the city. The situation escalates. The men of Sodom surround Lot's house, pounding on the door and demanding to assault the divine messengers. Trapped and panicked, Lot's moral compass shatters. In a futile attempt to appease the mob, he offers up his own daughters. The divine response is swift. The angels pull Lot inside, strike the mob with sudden blindness, and physically drag Lot and his family by the hands out of the city. The threshold of tolerance has been crossed. The corruption of the city proves that diplomacy is useless, forcing the divine to initiate a violent physical purge. As the sun clears the horizon, God rains fire and sulfur from the heavens, annihilating the cities, the plain, and everything growing from the soil. Fleeing the devastation, Lot's wife disobeys the command not to look back, and is transformed into a pillar of salt. The next morning, Abraham returns to the high ground where he bargained with God, looking over the silent, devastated valley. Instead of cities, he sees thick, dark smoke billowing up from the earth, rising into the sky exactly like the smoke of a massive furnace. The rising smoke confirms that the original furnace vision was not a metaphor, but a warning. In the world of Genesis, proximity to the divine is a consuming fire, one that leaves the land and its people permanently, physically scarred.